Hey everybody, Graz here. Cleaned up. I went to a wedding for a very good friend. Sorry. Always fun when you got a hair in your, you know. I don't know where it's coming from. Probably a cat. On location, as you've seen by the title, I am here to talk to you about Louis L'Amour and the first two books in the Sackett series. I'm not usually, I love Western movies. Westerns and zombie movies are at my top. I love them more than anything. Matter of fact, I am still working on my top maybe 10, 15, or 20 Western movies for a video. And I love Westerns and zombies and TV shows. Yeah. So I like the visual media of Westerns. I'm not really a huge fan of reading them. I've read a few. A lot last year. It was one of my 12-12-12 categories. It's just not really my thing. I mean, I'd rather read a Western than a romance. So Louis L'Amour is not in my wheelhouse at all. But the illustrious Hayden Reed came up with a project to wagon train his way down through the, 20 books, maybe 15, 18. I don't know. There's a lot of books in this series. To wagon train his way through the Sackett series, which was Louis L'Amour's overreaching series about the Sackett family, starting in England and then ending in the American, frontier Wild West type thing. Not really my deal. But he opened it to a bunch of people and a whole bunch joined. There's a wagon train. There's a lot of people that are reading them. Another good buddy, Jay, at Faceless Book Reviews, kind of convinced me to join. Read the first book or two, and if you like it, then keep going, and if you don't, then don't. And I do have a very open mind. So, yeah, I read the first two books, and that's what I'm here to talk about. I'm not going to really do an in-depth review, because there are better people that do better reviews than me that you can go and watch, like Kevin Toll reads, Jay at Faceless, Hayden Reed. I really haven't seen any others yet, but I'm not all seeing, I'm not Odin's eye or anything. So I'm just going to tell you that basically this is the story of Barnabas Sackett, who is a marsh/fen worker who, through basically a series of events, finds himself in trouble with the Queen of England and decides to find his fortune and everything in the new land of North America. I mean, at that point, I don't know what it was called. Americas. And basically, this is the tale of him, escaping the Queen, finding a wife and getting married, having a bunch of children, making friends with certain native tribes, and being complete enemies of others. And then just making his way in the New World with a bunch of interesting characters that just become instantly loyal to this guy, because once you throw in with him, he's your brother pretty much, and he will pretty much die for any of his friends, compatriots, companions, whatever. So like I said, I'm not going to get into the review. I'm just kind of telling you what it's about. because I'm not really good at that. I usually just jump into my thoughts, but it has been pointed out to me that I should probably say what things are about. But anyway, these first 2 books are not Westerns. Well, I mean, book 2 has a little bit of it near the end. But like the first full book and half of book 2, or maybe 2/3 of book 2, are like boat stories. You know, they're on the Atlantic Ocean. They're piracy. They're water battles. You know, most of them. There are some on land battles. And speaking of which, the battle scenes are, or you know, like the action writing is just amazing. I mean, I can't find anything wrong with it. The only thing I can find that was wrong with it really is that it jumps a little too much. There are some time jumps, and like in battle, sometimes it just like goes from this to this to this to this instead of like sticking with one, you know. And I get it. That's fine. That's like it would be in a TV show. L'Amour always does go back to and give you. He goes back to everything, and he does give you. He like you don't have anything left. Like at the end of the book, you don't go, well, what happened with this situation, or where did that person go? He ties all his knots up, which I like. If I'm looking around because I'm in the parking lot of the school again, and I'm just making sure nobody thinks I'm crazy talking to myself, even though I might be. But anyway, so this is more like pirates, which is pretty good. But I have a feeling that part of the story is over. I don't want to give away anything because, for once, I'm not going to do spoilers ahead. Because I know I know for a fact there's a lot of people that are reading this together, and we're kind of trying to stick together on the wagon train, you know. So, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but I get a strong feeling that the piracy part and the on the ocean part is over, because it kind of ends where we're going to be out west, and that's kind of like, it's not really a spoiler. That, I mean, you know, that's where it's going. It's kind of like in the name and theme. So I will say this: book 2 was very boring at first, for like the first half, maybe the first third, compared to book 1. Book 1 was very, very solid, and then book 2, it was like, okay, you're kind of just rehashing the same storyline, and he's making the same mistakes and stuff, and it just but it picked up hardcore once they were actually on our continent, the North American continent. But yeah, very good. And the ending of book 2, even somebody that doesn't like Westerns, if you read book 2 and you get to the ending, and I mean, I don't know how you can't like that. Maybe you don't want to read further, that's fine, but the ending is, it's touching. It's full of emotion. And it's just, it's awesome. I'm not very eloquent with how I feel about it, but maybe you can see it in my face, you know, and like how I'm struggling for the right words, because it really spoke. And for people that read a lot of books, you know what I mean, because when a book actually speaks, then you know that you're getting what's meant to be there. So that's all I've got. I will continue. I'm not quitting. I am going to stop with the character thing on the Discord, because I kind of got the feeling that maybe I was overdoing it. I mean, I got into it a lot, and I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings or go too far, because, you know, some people take their YouTube growth seriously, and I don't. So I don't want to offend anyone. So that's all I got for you on the first 2 Sackett books. Like I said, go check out, I'll link the Wagon Train below, and go check them out for more in-depth review. I'm just going to give you thoughts because, like I said, they're better at reviewing than I am. And that's not a call for anybody out there to be like, oh no, you're fine. No, I don't do that. That's how I genuinely feel. I'm not searching for compliments. I mean, I do my downs and ups, but I'm not real good at like reviewing the whole book, you know. But yeah, this is all I got. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do next. I don't know. I know I got a tag tomorrow, which sounded like a really good one. So I'm gonna do that. And then the full GKBC has a few things planned, and we might have a super special coming up with a guest star. So I will see all of you down the road reading more.